And if she have to walk 1,000 miles off to me, she doesn't care at all. Because she loves me like no woman loved before. She said, believe me, you're the only man that I adore. If you receive me, I'm everything.
I'm loving this new album from Singing Melody, the next chapter. Let's get him online.
Oh yeah, she's always understanding. She never pushed to fight. She always try to do right. Ooh, and down those dresses when she put them on. Ooh, she really blew my mind. Yeah. The smell of her perfume really drives me nuts. Oh, she really turns me on, and that's why she said she love me body and she ever want more. Every time she do it, she come back for more. Because she loves me, love me like no woman loved before. She said, believe me, you're the only.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon to you, Singing Melody.
Yeah, speaking.
Yes, you live on RFI Radio.
Yes, man. Good day to you. How you doing?
Yes, I'm not too bad. I must say it's a pleasure having you here on RFI Radio.
Yes, man. Likewise myself, Likewise myself.
It's an honor and a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Saying. How is Jamaica and how is the Big Apple?
Well, it's great. Yeah, everything is just as it is. We're in a time where everybody's just trying to figure out the next move and figure out how to adjust to, this whole lifestyle.
Yes.
Of living with COVID-19 and how to protect yourself and things like that. So it's a great thing, DJLG.
Yes.
Not a great thing, but it's a great move, because we all have to get into that mentality now of how to adjust and to live and to carry on our lives, So I think it's a positive outlook in terms of how we're trying to figure out the way forward.
Yes. And again, I must say, as an artist, it must be a bit difficult for you guys because a lot of you guys' bookings have been cancelled because of the COVID-19.
Oh, yes, definitely. It affects, this is a time where we can look at each other and say some people are benefiting and some people are not benefiting. Everybody is in a bind. I think the whole world is in a place where it affects everybody.
Right. So true.
Yeah, so not true. Just entertainers, but people who used to attend events and things like that. They don't want to go because even if the artist could go and perform, they still wouldn't be able to because they have to protect themselves as well. So the fans are the most important ingredients to all of this and everything that we have done.
Indeed.
Musically.
Yes. So true. Yeah. So once again, Singing Melody, it's a pleasure having you on RFI Radio. You have fans from everywhere listening right now. New York, Canada, St. Lucia, London, just to name a few of the countries.
Yes, man. And we just want to take the time out in the same breath to just big up the world, Big up the people who are listening to reggae music and keep supporting my music over the years. It's been a wonderful journey, and it's been a wonderful investment as well into the fans because from day one I've always just tried to do my best and to bring the best production ever, and everything that I put my hands on I try to make it the best so the fans can enjoy the best way that I would enjoy so it's a two-sided thing and it's a two-sided investment.
True. But I must say throughout the years you have blessed us with some lovely music, Singing Melody.
Yes, I mean it's just like everything else in the world. You have people who created cars. When they create cars, they want to bring the best. So therefore, you could be able to have interest in buying them.
Yes.
So for me as a musician and a recording artist, my job is to bring the best, because you realize if you don't put your best foot forward, what will happen is that your fan base will be weak. And your fans, you wouldn't have many fans. You wouldn't have so much fans all over the world. People would a few people might like your music, but that's about it, But when you have millions of people across the world who are vibing to your music, it means that you're really doing something great, and it's really a great look, And
Yes.
like I said to you earlier, it's a two-way investment.
Mm-hmm. So true. Yeah. Now tell us singing melody. You were born in Kingston, Jamaica, a place called Spanish Town. Is this correct?
No, Spanish Town Road.
Spanish Town Road.
So you
Okay.
have Spanish Town, and then you have
Spanish
Spanish
Town
Town
Road.
Road.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so Spanish Town Road is really just a road that's heading to Spanish Town. Really, it's a long stretch of road,
Yes.
and it's like you to call it the main road or the 95 in Miami
Okay.
or
Yes.
or New York. It takes you from Miami to the south of Miami all the way to North New York and New Hampshire and all those places. So, it's one road, but it just branch off in different areas and different communities and so on. So it is definitely Spanish Town Road.
Yes.
And that was my earlier days. I was born at a place called Kingston Jubilee Hospital, and then I was transferred to 125 Spanish Town Road, where I grew up, spent my youthful days going to school, and associated myself with the community and
Mm-hmm.
the sound system era. So back then was a different time, because back then it wasn't just your parent that was parenting you. You have the whole community that was
Yes.
keeping an eye on you.
Indeed.
So in that way, you kind of get like a full circle of discipline, and and you get to enjoy your youthful days too, because as boys, we have our peers and our friends that we hang out with,
Yeah.
and we does things like the normal kid would do. We play marble, we have different kind of games, we make toy truck, we do everything as a teenager
Yes.
growing up. So we are well rounded and we're well disciplined when it comes to parenting and things like that. So we could have able to have this kind of humility as we grow up,
Yes.
as opposed to the younger generation now who their parents are kids, such as the 16 and the 15 years old are having kids, and things like that. So the whole morals and the whole idea of parenting has broken down, and,
So
and
true.
becomes really, really much more dangerous for society, because if you can't grow your kids and teach your kids certain things while they're growing up, you yourself as the parent are looking for the same kind of thing.
Yes.
It's like a back way thinking kind of thing. So that's where my life got started, and that's where I get an opportunity to really be a great person. Not many people can talk as I do, even though it was
Yeah.
rough. It was rough. It was a rough time, but it was a good time, because no matter how small it is, my parent wasn't really financially rich, but we were rich when it comes to having a roof over our head,
Yes.
food, the necessaries, and so on and so on. But in terms of being wealthy, we didn't grow up wealthy, so therefore we have to do the same hustle and bustle like everybody else in the community, and try to get out,
Yeah.
with a profession, or
Mhm.
try to graduate with something that you can able to turn yourself into, a successful person.
Yes.
But I thank God for this opportunity, because I asked him for this talent, and he has placed it upon me, and
Definitely so.
I handle it with great responsibility.
Yeah. Because I was about to ask you, what was life like for you growing up in Spanish Town Road? If your family, was life a bit tough for you guys?
Yeah, just as I said before,
Yeah.
it was a bit rough, because there are certain things that you would have wanted, and your parents would really want for you, like send you to the best school, give you a great education, things like that. We didn't have that opportunity, and our educational background stopped at high school. We didn't go to college,
Yeah.
because we didn't have that kind of money. But thank God for music, because music has gave us the opportunity to get into a university that is so vast and knowledgeable. And because we are coming from an era where we learn quick, we are quick learners, and we get into always trying to push yourself to the next level. So everything that we have learned and I have learned over the years is by just researching and make sure I follow up with things,
Yeah.
Yeah, so even though when I started growing up and got into the music, I could have went back to school, but then that would have taken away years of my time in music, and maybe I wouldn't be this successful. I
Yes.
don't know. You just never know.
You never know.
Hmm.
Yeah. So do you have any siblings singing melody?
Yes. Well, my mother has. She was. Uh, she has two separate dad. We have two. Well, I wouldn't say two separate dad. I have one dad, but then I have another set of family where my mother have the first kids with.
Yeah.
So my eldest brothers are the elder brothers for a different father, and then my father has four. So it is three brothers and one sister. I recently lost my youngest brother
Oh no.
last year.
Saturday that.
Yeah, and the same day of the release of the next chapter is the same day I put my brother. I bury my brother. So my youngest brother. So
Wow.
for yeah. So it is two of us left now
Oh no.
and one sister. Yeah.
Okay.
But but my older brothers, they are still alive with the exception of one. So we lost two brothers from both sides of the family.
Yeah. Wow. And your parents, I think
Yeah.
they're still around with you. Your parents.
No, both parents are passed. Yeah,
Oh, they
my
passed,
dad
yeah.
passed when I was 9 years old,
Oh,
and
no.
then my mother passed 9 years ago, 8 years ago rather.
Oh. Wow. Yeah. Accept my sympathy. Singing melody.
Yes, give
Yeah,
thanks,
yeah,
give
yeah, man,
thanks,
yeah, man.
thanks.
Now, your parents name you Everton Hardware. At
Yes.
birth. Yeah. So where you get the name Singing Melody from?
It is a interesting question that I've been asked so many times, but
Yes.
each and every time it has boiled down to how I answer it.
Yeah.
It is the same question. It's the same question, but in a different way, and it gives me a different feeling.
Yes.
But the name Singing Melody, I started, my music career in my community, just admiring the music and singing. And my mother has a gift of singing. She was actually the singer in the group, in the family.
Okay.
And so I guess I inherit the high pitched sound from my mother and genes and bloodline, and then that trickled down to me just loving music in my community. The typical thing, and
Yeah.
you follow, you just have this thing where you just want to sing. So I used to just be the kid that walk on the road and sing. People used to ask me all the time, "Are you a singer?" And I don't know what to answer. Yes or no. So they would encourage me and say, you need to pursue singing. You sound good.
Yeah.
But I didn't know because for me it's just noise. I was making joyful noise, as we call it.
Yeah.
So as I grew up in my community, I have people that we used to go to school with, like Tenasa, Little John,
Oh yeah.
people like those who have been with school with and seen them get out there and everything, and I was like, okay, it's my turn next.
Yeah.
But not until I've discovered that I have the talent and really wanted to pursue it. So I started with the community thing, going to the dance hall and following the sound systems and so on and so on. In an era where there's volcano high power, as we know,
Yes.
Judge Henry Laz,
Yes.
with the likes of Barrington Levy, Yellowman, Josie
Josie
Wales,
Wales. Yes.
and all those great artists, Dennis Brown, Gregory Isaac,
yes.
Junior Mervyn, all these great singers. So in my community, it was just a host of people that was coming through daily, because sound systems used to be on the corner like 2-3 times a week, and so party used to be a continuous thing on the road. So as a youth who actually loved the music, I just used to be the runner. So I used to hang out around the artists, and they used to send me go to the corner store to buy things, and things like that. That's how I get in to be interactive with them.
Yeah.
And basically kind of earn my place into the midst of them. So I get to learn their whole energy and what they were about,
Yes.
and by doing so, I really get to love music more. So I started to pursue my opportunity by looking for opportunities. Sorry, and pursuing my career. So I
Yeah.
started out and going to the what we call it now, the dance hall,
Yeah.
with sound systems like Jaro, Inner
Yeah.
City,
Yes.
Roadstar, Gemini, you know, all these sound systems, all these sound systems.
Yes.
And sorry, 1 second.
Mm.
Yes. So with that says, it is a great experience while doing so.
Yeah.
And by doing that, there is a lot of different energy that comes with that. That actually led me on to want to know find a base, like you call it a base or a sound system where
Hmm.
we can just be on. That is, this is our place,
Right.
our sound system. So that's about it. That's how I started out. I ended up on Gemini sound systems, and I was adopted by Glamour Wayne, and by adopting on Glamour Wayne sound system,
Yeah.
which is Gemini.
Gemini. Yes.
That's how
Remember
I
them?
got my first. Yeah, that's how I got my first break.
Yeah. Hello.
That's how I actually got my first break with the song called "Show Me With Love."
Mm. You could hear me singing melody. Hello.
I'm here.
Yes. Yes. I think I'll lose you for a while. Yeah. You were saying. I think you have a technical problem. Can you hear me singing melody? Hello?
Yes, I am back. Are you hearing me?
Yes,
like
I'm-
we have been. We're
Yeah,
breaking up a bit.
a little hitch up, yes. Yeah, you were saying now about Gemini song system.
Yes, and so Gemini is really where I got my break with Glamour Wayne, and so on. But before that, it was just the sound systems that actually gave us that whole energy of knowing that we have talent and we can do things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hello?
Right? Yeah, man. I'm still
yeah,
here
yeah,
with
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. So yes, continue about the name, singing melody, how it come about.
Yeah, so with the name Singing Melody, by fooling around the sound systems, as a youth growing up in the community, you have to have something to do. It wasn't a case where you just happy-go-lucky because your parents were just always pushing you and saying, hey, look, you need to find something to do. You need to find a job
Yes.
after school. So I used to just hang out at different sites and workplace. So I got a job at a factory. Actually, I went for an interview to become an electrician
Okay.
to assemble iron, like clothing iron.
Yes, yes. Okay, that's
And
good.
when I got there, the supervisor said to me that, unfortunately, there's no more space for that. So, how about starting out by planting some grass? So it's like, okay, anything will do. So I got the job
Yeah.
with 4 more guys to plant a field with grass.
Okay.
And I took on the job. And while I took on the job, I was there. Get to meet different people and so on and so on. So I met the security guard, and the security guard actually from another community beside me.
Yes.
So every Friday, the supervisor, he will have his sound system string up to have the after work jam, with having people leaving with their pay to take it back from them by selling them alcohol, and, they drink and have a great time after work.
Yeah.
So I used to go there and, hang out with the DJ that was playing the sound and having a vibe and started hold the mic and turn over the records, sing on the versions.
Yeah.
So while I'm doing that, the security guard, who was working there at the time, kind of like the energy. So he came to me and said to me, "Boy, you have a great voice. So what's your name?" And I said, "Sing it."
Yeah.
So he said, "Sing it." He said, "Me not too like the name there. Sing it thing, no sound. It sound like a gimmick, you know?"
Yeah.
He said, "You need a name." So I was like, "Yeah, but like the sing it, that's what people call me." But he was saying that ain't gonna go anywhere.
Yeah,
The singing not gonna go anywhere. It's just something that doesn't really connect with real singing.
It's true.
So as a kid growing up, you take the conscious criticism. So we used to walk with our dictionary in our back pocket, like the little Oxford Pocket Dictionary.
Yes, I remember them. Yes.
Yeah. So one evening after work, we decided to sit down and look for some names. So we started looking at the dictionary, and I knew I wanted to keep singing because I know this is what I'm doing. So singing what would be the question.
Yeah.
So we started to look. So we ended up at S. We found singing. We found the meaning of it, and we liked it. We already knew what the meaning was. So we want another name to go with that. So we searched over 2.5 hours. We were just sitting there.
In the dictionary,
names.
In the dictionary,
yeah,
2 hours. Wow,
yeah, over 2.5 hours.
That's amazing.
While we're there, I said to myself, I stopped and I said, you know what? I want a name that I can able to grow with, and it I don't have to change it, because over the years I've watched artists change their name as they get older.
Yeah,
because it maybe it's a Little John, or maybe it's a Big Youth or Little Youth or whatever the name may be.
Yeah.
Or a truck or a car. Some people name themselves after cars and trucks, animals, things like that.
Yeah.
So I was always saying that I want to find a name that I don't have to change. So we ended up at M and started to search till we find melody. When we looked at melody and we read the definition of it, the meaning of it, it is saying melody is vocals or harmony. Vocals, harmony come together, or voices or instrument.
Right.
So I said immediately, that's a cool name, Singing Melody. So my virgin now said, nah man, Singing Melody, too much melodies around already. That time you have Bob Melody, you have Bob Marley and the Melody Makers.
Yes.
You have Delray Melody, all these kind of melody that was out there. And he said that too much melodies out there, so I don't think it's a good idea. But I said to him, look, I like the name Melody.
Yeah.
I think this name is great, and it's not, you're not just singing, but you're singing in melody.
Yes.
And he says, well, if you want to keep it, you can, but I just know that the singing thing not going to work. So that's how I got the name.
Okay.
And but it wasn't until long after I realized the meaning and the power of that name, I started to do a lot of soul searching. I used to sing up and down, a lot of different kind of energy, a lot of different kind of music. That was just great back then, but it wasn't. I didn't find myself at that time, because I was searching to find, how I could be able to fuse the name Singing Melody and let it become something more purposely. And so it took me at least 15 years to really find who I am as an artist.
Yeah.
And try to mold that name and try to secure it at the same time, and make sure that whatever I do is substantial and it basically have a meaning to it. And I want it to be timeless music based upon how I watched Dennis Brown and Gregory and all these great artists, just timeless.
Yes.
So I never ever wanted to be the biggest star, because I realized that the biggest star has so much weight to carry and they cannot maintain after a while. So I always want to stay right in the middle until I understand how to figure out being the biggest artist in the world. So for me is that it takes me a while to really get around to understand, the meaning of this name and how to really power it,
Wow.
So that's how I got the name.
Wow, interesting. 2 hours in an Oxford dictionary looking for a name. That's a
Meanings and names,
meanings.
not
Yeah,
just names,
yeah.
but meaning
Meanings.
of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. That's
Because
amazing.
because then because as a teenager growing up back then, I realized how powerful word was. And that's
Yes,
why even up till today my music is still positive, because
indeed.
I realize the power of words and how we use them. And a lot of artists are not responsible in terms of how they use their words, because they don't know that words take on to people
It's so true.
and become a significant influence. So when a lot of people are saying to me, like a lot of DJs that interview me, like a month ago, I was on an interview in an African country,
Yeah.
and the guy was saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe you haven't gotten a Grammy yet. You're one of the biggest artists ever."
Yes, indeed.
And
True.
blah
So
blah
true.
blah, and he was just saying, going on and on and on and on, and he says that he don't think the business is fair because people like me, and he was naming some other artists. So I said to him, "Look, man, we all in this thing together, man. I'm sure that you have a lot of people in your country has been singing for years and still haven't gotten a Grammy.
Yeah.
But what I'm grateful for is really the knowledge and the wisdom, of how to maintain a name and to maintain a career
True.
that spanned over 35 years.
Wow.
Because that's not easy. That's not easy.
It's hard work.
Yeah, hard work.
Hmm. Now tell us, singing melody. Which artist really inspired you?
Inspiration is a big word, and it has a wide meaning. And like I tell you, the people I grew up around inspires me. Like the Gregory Dennis, the Yellow Man, all of these people who at the time was mega stars. Those are the people who are responsible for my growth now. But you see, inspiration now is a thing we're continuing on. It not just steer your foot, and,
Yeah.
and stifle. Even today I've been inspired by younger generation, and other artists like myself who are doing great music. I just look, when I listen to even Bruno Mars now, I was like, oh man, this kid is bad. When I listen
Hmm.
to, all different kind of artists, even reggae artists like Chronix, and Chronix and my son went to school together.
Okay.
So I knew Chronix's dad. I knew the whole family for a long time.
Okay.
So even now, Chronix became an artist later on. The Buju Banton, I remember when Buju used to be hanging out behind me, asking me to give him the mic. And Buju is one of the biggest artists now.
Yes,
I remember
yes.
being a man. So inspiration as we talk now today, and when Buju bust out back in the 90s, and he went on his first penthouse tour in the UK. I don't know if you remember that time when Buju came to the UK on the Penthouse tour. I was touring England. I have a song back then called Best Friend. I'm the best friend you've got,
Hmm.
and I was on tour at that time, and my tour ended. So the promoter took me to Buju show with Wayne Wonder, Marcia Griffiths, Buju Banton,
Okay.
and that was in Birmingham or somewhere like that.
Right. Right.
And I remember going up to Buju's dress room, and Buju called me up and said, "Why, singer, welcome to the show, man, and respect and blah, blah, blah. You remember when I was younger and I was asking you for the mic, and you never give me the mic. Look at me now."
Yeah. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was just saying these things, just being proud,
Wow.
to know that, he get to this level now where he can able to exercise, and to see how he grew up now and grew into the music. These are inspirations.
Indeed. Indeed.
You understand?
So true.
So inspiration goes a long way, and I'm still inspired, and that's why today I could really make great music still, because
Indeed.
I am not just stuck into where I'm coming from.
Big
I'm
respect.
also looking to where I'm going,
You're right.
and where I want to be.
Respect. Now let's talk about your very first song, Singing Melody. Do you remember your very first track you recorded in the studio?
Yes, my very first track that I recorded was a song titled Friday Evening by the Jackson's Five. Actually, I found out later on that it was Jackson's Five, but it was just a song that I ended up loving, hearing a friend sing, and I ended up falling in love with the song and start singing it myself.
Okay.
And the song is titled Friday Evening. I don't know if you remember it. but it goes like this: Friday evening, what a feeling, feel like dancing, and I feel like singing. So you gotta make up the best of life while you're young. And this is the Jackson 5, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I recorded that song. Little John is the first artist to take me to a studio. King Jam is to actually record that song on the answer rhythm on a dub plate.
Right.
But I thought it was going to be a song to put out. But then later on, I learned it was a dub plate for a sound system
Oh,
that
I
was in
see.
the community.
Right, right.
And that's where I got my first community buzz, was really on Little John Sound.
Okay.
You understand? Then further on from there, I was introduced to a band in Greenwich Farm and with Junior Rankin and Finnegan. And I was always around them listening to live music. And they took me to the studio, which is King Tubby Studio.
Oh yes, Kingdom.
And when I found out that, this is a place I could be able to go and seek opportunities, because remember now, I was telling you that coming from a sound system where I was on a lot of different sound systems singing,
Yes,
going to
yes.
different dance and singing and, developing the skills.
Yes, of course.
And when I was taken to King Tubby Studio by Junior Rankin, I didn't record the day. I actually asked my supervisor on my job if I could go to the studio, and he says, if I leave, don't come back. And that was the last day I worked.
Wow.
So I went to studio full time. I start going to King Tubby Studio now to look opportunity to record.
Yes.
So that's where I first recorded the song. My first real recording, Timing. And it wasn't even by King Tubby's, it was just apprentice engineer that was there at the time that was recording
Yes.
from my community. He wasn't even recording. It was apprentice engineer, and King Tubby's wasn't there.
Okay.
And he recorded me on one of King Tubby's rhythm. So when he did that, I felt really great, because it was a song I wrote. That was my first song, called Timing. Girl, I tell you one timing, you better go on and leave me. But then it was just a singing vibe. And when I recorded that song, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. The song must have recorded in about 5 minutes. Tops.
One second, can we just feature this track, Timey, for our listeners? So they can get a just 1 second. Let me.
She want to time me. You better go and leave me.
The voice of the one singing melody right here on RFI Radio 102.1 FM.
Because I tell you one time me, you better go on and leave me. So girl, I tell you one time me, you better go on and leave me. Come on, no this little girl by the name of Beverly. Always I try to get that body. Mama and dad want me in the family. Just because they want me singing money. So what are you want, timing, you better go on.
Yeah, man, big tune, singing melody, Timey. I remember this. Yeah.
Yes, man.
Yeah, big tune, big tune.
Sounding so young and immature. But I give you a joke about that song.
Yes.
Because back then in those times, it's a lot of things we have to go through to actually get that opportunity. First, you couldn't get into Studio Yard, if you're not a big artist or you're not invited. So we used to hang out outside at the gate just to go to shops for people so we can get the opportunity to go inside when we come back from the store.
Yes.
So that's how I got my opportunity to get inside King Tubby Studio Yard.
Yes.
So after getting that opportunity, months later on, I got the opportunity to go in studio, and only to find out that the engineer didn't get permission to record me. So when King Tubby find out that one of his track was used up by an unknown person, I have to take one myself.
Which was you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I have to take one myself. And by taking away myself now, it's like, things kind of break loose. The engineer gets suspended and so on. So I didn't go back to the studio till about 2 weeks.
Wow.
And when I went back to the studio, I get to go back to the studio, I heard that King Tubby's was looking for me. So the same engineer who comes from my community told me that I need to come to the studio.
Yeah.
Because King Tubby's asked for me. So I went back to the studio. I went into his office and he says, boy, I don't know. You get the who give you permission to record on my track. But however, the song no sound too bad. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it out and give you a copy, and then from there, you have to come back and buy more if you want it.
Really?
So that's how I got into my first introduction to King Tubby's, and then from there on, I met Wayne Wonder. So Wayne Wonder and I now used to be pairing at King Tubby's, because he came in as, you know, a youngster as well, just like how when I came.
Yeah.
And by then we had songs, you know, and with King Tubby's. So me and him started to reason, and that's how he started to record for King Tubby's as well. So I'm the one who actually introduced him to dancehall.
Okay, Winnie Wonder.
Yes, and so he and I used to know, just hang out together. I took him to a lot of different dance to build confidence, you know, and to build. Both of us was building at the time, but I was kind of more experienced because, you know, I kind of more know how to get the mic from the DJs, because back then nobody gives you mic. You have to go take it.
Wow.
But you have to take it. You have to take it on a timing that works.
Yeah.
So, for instance, if a rhythm is playing and someone is singing on it, you have to time that person between bars and then grab it and start singing at the same time. So it's like a combination song or a collaboration.
Right.
But you have to time it, because if you grab it and you start talking, it's going to be a problem.
Yes.
You know, so that's how I got my opportunity. That's how I got my experience with sound systems, and that's how I introduced Wayne to it. So Wayne know me and him used to be on a sound system together called Big John High Power.
Yes.
And that's how Big John High Power now emerged from there to the Gemini to the this and that. So the story and the history is really long.
It's long, yes.
It's a long history.
We're going to keep it short.
Like maybe 10 hours to talk about it. So
I know that
instead,
for sure.
I will put it in a book. Yes.
So tell me, so when you went back to the studio, King Tubby's, was he upset with you?
No, at that time, no, because you see, he's a judgment man, you know. He's a man who no laugh. I don't know if you know King Tubby's.
Yes, I've heard of King Tubby's.
It's not a person. If you go on the internet now and you look at any one of his pictures, you see that he doesn't really smile a lot. He's a firm person, and most people used to fear him, but then it was joy learning from him because he was a scientist.
Yes.
You know? He was a musical scientist that created a different kind of frequency that actually grab people. You know, if you know the history about King Tubby's, you know that King Jammys learned from King Tubby's.
Yes.
He was apprentice for King Tubby's, and that's how King Jammys was out there, you know, doing its own thing, and in the same era, a little bit down the road from King Tubby's, you know. So a lot of people passed through King Tubby's, and a lot of artists, King Everald, the Anthony Red Rose, Thriller You. When I went to King Tubby's, Thriller You was already a big artist.
Okay, yes, Thriller You.
He has a song called Juggling at the time. Juggling every time. And this is off a Cocoa-Tea song, Tune In. He had a song that he wrote called Juggling. So when I went to King Tubby's, Thriller You was already a star there, you know?
Yes.
And then then shortly after that, there was Courtney Melody. I didn't even know that there was another melody. Otherwise, so the melody was a lot. A melody that was out there floating. But as you can see now today, that maybe it's only one or two you can hear about. You know?
Yes. Now tell me, singing melody, how difficult it was for you to penetrate the mainstream industry, because you had other artists there before you, like the Sanchez, as you said, Thriller You. How hard it was for you? Oh, I totally forget about Sanchez. Let me just put the tip on the icing on that too, because Sanchez was there. All of us grew up on sound systems, eh? Sanchez come from out the church to the sound system as a selector, right? Okay.
And then, because I used to be on a sound called Rambo Mango.
Oh, yes.
Not Rambo Mango, and a sound called Merchant. And Sanchez used to be on a sound called Rambo Mango.
Rambo Mango, yes.
So when I met Sanchez, when I met Sanchez, it was long after that, after Lady in Red and stuff. Them times, me just get show me with the love at the same time with Steely and Clevie.
Yes.
So Sanchez really out there and break on the scene long before me, and was doing maybe about 2 years before me, before I merged on the scene.
Yeah.
So Sanchez was really there making some really good noise and creating a really good buzz and for himself. And as you can see, there's a string of artists that came out at that time. It was the Wayne Wonder, it was the Sanchez, it was the Singing Melody, it was the Banana Man, it was the King Everald, it was the so much of us.
Yes, plenty.
You know, yeah, a lot of us. Thriller U, Lukey D.
Yes.
Them time when Lukey D wasn't really boss, but him they out there in the sound system world as a youth, teenager as well. So we all came out. There's a set of era artists that came out at that same given time.
Yeah.
But there's some of us that were shining more, and Sanchez was one of those people that was just shining.
Yes.
You know, because the sound was fresh and everything was so fresh, you know?
Yeah.
And when we decided to merge together and grow up now and start up songs, we realized that we were rival in a positive way. Because people used to compare us together. We used to compare me and Sanchez together, you know?
Yes.
And we used to have the conflicts, not conflicts with each other, but conflicts within the dancehall. So
yes.
whenever time we happens to be in the same space, the sound system and selectors them would want us to sing and clash. You know?
Yeah.
So those were the golden days. And we're talking about when I first merged on the scene, it was about 1985 to 86. When I first merged on the dancehall scene, you know, Sanchez came out about the same time, about 84, 85.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. So it wasn't long after that since when I merged through King Tubby's. It's just that I wasn't really that popular.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't really that known at the time until I got Shower Me With Your Love in 1989.
Yeah, big tune, yes.
With Steely and Cleavy. Yeah, so that was my first major hit song that caused a lot of people to swing from the Sanchez and start singing melody we know, because everybody I say, yo, are the body sing this blah blah blah. You know, the hype of the music and people, but those things weren't really bothering us, you know, as singers, because we know ourselves and know what we can do and know exactly how we can be able to make it work for the betterment of the business, you know. And up till today, me and Sanchez was always good brethren and still is up till today.
That's good.
You know?
Yeah. But now you mentioned singing melody about your song Shower Me. Was this the song that burst singing melody?
This was the song that actually brought me to the dancehall. Make people start say, yo, because I remember when this song came out, I got the first white label copy from Steely and Cleavy. And this is how we promote ourselves. I start walking with that record to every dance and play it. Because back then you only have one turntable. The selector them only have one turntable, so when them play them turn over the rhythm. So because it's only one record I have, I can't lose it. So what I have to do is go to the dance.
That's goldest.
A matter of fact, I was on Gemini back then when I first got Show Me With Your Love. Glamour Wayne was always the selector that was trying with me. You know, he recorded so much dub plate with me on Gemini sound. Yeah. Because I used to emulate Anita Baker as well. I sang a lot of Anita Baker songs back then. The Flashback and the, you know, Same Old Love and them songs there. You know, and Glamour Wayne was always playing them on dub plate on Gemini. So he was always saying to me that he need a song when he can bust. Yeah. So when I sang Show Me With Your Love for Steely and Cleavy and get my first copy, I took it to Glamour Wayne the Wednesday night at Gemini, because that was a big night. Yes. So me, Wayne Wonder, and that's the night I met Richie Stephens at the same time, because Richie Stephens now just came in from country and was trying to as well. He was on the North Coast doing cabaret singing and things like that, but he merged and coming to Kingston, have his first record to call Boof Baff. I don't know if you remember the song there. Boof Baff. Boof Baff will lick you right between the eyes. Yeah, Soundboy song. Yeah. And we met at Gemini Club, and that's how I met Richie Stephens now, and we're all there because we all look in the bus. So I took my song to Glamour Wayne, and I said to him, you know, Glamour, boy, I'm find the song, you know, and I said, well, boy, I sing I'm in our life. If this I know it, you know, boy, I don't know if you tell us, but we're going to listen to it. So I'm take it from me now and listen to it, and I tell us, the man make some breed. At them time, gunshot was legal in dancehall. You know, we call it.
Yes.
And this wasn't by bad man alone. It was by the army.
21 gun salute.
The army, the soldiers, them that comes from the army, they used to patrol at night and they stop at many dances and hang out with the people.
Yeah.
That this is when the police and the soldier them and the community was great.
Yes.
You know? So that night when Glamour Wayne played that song, the amount of gun salute that song get.
Show me.
I almost have cold bump, and then right behind that was Wayne Wonder song as well.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the night that actually solidified me that I am onto something great. And, you know, we have to say thanks to Glamour Wayne who have given me that opportunity. And since from then, Glamour Wayne has taken up my career and started to tell everybody I'm a singer. This is my singer. And anyway, Gemini I play, singing melodies there.
Same.
You know, and, you know, that's how it really is in everything you do, yeah? Because you have to be persistent. You have to be a person. If you want something, you have to be going at it every day and every time.
I agree. Yes.
You know, so that's how it worked for us. You know, we didn't have no marketing, no Facebook, no MySpace back then. MySpace coming later on.
Yeah, long time.
You know,
yes, yes.
and no Instagram and all these things. We have to use the one record. And back then, you used to have the cassette, the sound system that was recording cassettes.
Yes.
So once your music get onto that cassette, it's everywhere. Because the next morning they're making copies. So everybody have it. So that's how it get to reach even foreign. You know, where people know about singing melody. So from there on, we start spread the wings and fly with Bobby Digital. We start record for Bobby Digital, Jack Scorpio, Fatis, all of the name producers. We start get opportunities from left to right because that's how it is. Yes. You know, a lot of producers though. Just name the producers. I've got my full share of experience with them, and do great songs with them and stuff. So now I becoming now a solid producer myself, and also
that's good.
You know by the experience and the time that I've spent into those labs, into those studio with those producers, sleeping on the floor.
Wow.
You know, just paying my dues, you know, to learn.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, to see that today that all of that is benefiting me now, you know, I am really grateful and honored to be a part of this movements and the industry, you know.
Mm-hmm. Now, Singing Melody, let's feature this track you're talking about for our listeners. Shower Me With Your Love, okay?
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
My heart is filled with so much love, and I need someone I can call my own.
This is the voice of the one singing melody. You're right on RFI Radio 102.1 FM, the concert station, the pulse of the nation.
Always feeling home, so sure life is too short to live alone. When there's someone to call my own, I will care for you, you will care for me. Our love will live forever. Shower me with your love. Shower me with your love that I long for.
Yeah, big tune singing melody. Can you give us that a cappella singing melody?
My heart is filled with so much love, and I need someone I can call my own to fall in love. That's what everyone's dreaming of. I've always feeling oh so strong. Life is too short to live alone without someone to call my own. I will care for you and you will care for me. Our love will live forever. Sing, shower me with your love. And of course, you know, man, that's a classic.
Melody.
That's a classic.
Listen, you have the ladies ringing on my phone now, man. My phone is just buzzing right now. You're causing some trouble
classic,
now.
man.
You're causing some trouble singing melody. The
Boy, I tell you that.
ladies
Listen,
ringing on my phone.
I have never lose a moment singing that song. I tell you, I just did Mother's Day in Florida.
Yeah.
And me and Davil, and trust me, that song has never had a dull moment in my career, man. I tell you, I've recorded some songs that I never even knew what I was doing back then when I was much younger. But I just knew that the producers, that the chemistry got intertwined with, it was a great thing that I've done and that we have done. And it's to create a memory and a frequency that travels right across the four corners of the earth, that transcend into people's soul, that remembering the days of great music, that stays with us, music that stayed with us. It's like it's a stain on a shirt that you try to get out and you just can't get rid of it.
I agree with you 100%.
And that's the best way to describe the classics, And if I ever get booked for any show and don't sing my classic songs, I will be in a lot of trouble, So
I agree.
So I have to give thanks. I have to give thanks for those moments, I have to give thanks for the moment that those moments created,
Right.
A lot of kids too that come into this world.
Oh yes.
Relationship that was made and was solidified by these music as well that bring forth kids into our world. So we're a part of the reproduction system, as well,
Yes.
the ecosystem that actually builds us today and get us to where we are. A lot of people in the reggae industry, children that born in the reggae industry, it's a part of that journey. And I am also a part of that journey because I am sure that my parents were met at some music convention or some music must bring them together.
Yeah. Now let's feature another big track, Singing Melody. I mean, this is one of my favorite tunes as well. I Want You Back for Good. Let's feature this track before we talking about it. The man with the golden voice is here, singing melody.
I guess now it's time.
102.1 FM, things turn up.
Got a picture of you beside me. Got your lipstick marks along a couple cups. Oh yeah. Ooh baby. Got a fist of your emotion. Got a hand shot of dreams. Gotta leave it on behind now. And whatever I said, whatever I did, I didn't mean it. I just want you back for good. See, I want you back for good. And whenever I'm gone, just
Singing Melody, this is a song I could play over and over and over and never get tired of it. How big is this tune, Singing Melody? This is a monster.
I think the song is definitely a song that transcends through time. This song was released back in 2000, late 99 to 2000.
Yes.
So just think about the years that this song has been out, and you just play that song just now, and it still brings chills. You still bring that kind of energy. But I have to give you the backstory of this song because it wouldn't make sense celebrating the moment without talking about the process and how this song came about.
Yes, go on.
A lot of people over the years was always saying, Singing Melody have a lot of cover version song. And why haven't seen a cover version? But pity did they know that most of these cover version songs were brought to me by producers.
Yes.
This particular song was brought to me at the time. We fast forwarding now because we haven't gone through the likes of Bobby Digital or King Jammies, but we fast forward now to Fat Eyes. Now, back in 1998, I managed to get encountered with Fat Eyes record.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was living in New York, and I was going back and forth. But however, I ended up in a session, at a recording session at Mixing Lab.
Mm-hmm.
So when I ended up there, everybody was surprised to see me because people haven't seen me for years. Because I don't know if you know my history, but I have some really terrible accident that actually
Yes, I remember
almost
that.
cost my life.
Yeah, we're going to talk about this later on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So because of that, I've been through a lot of different tragedy in my life that actually lead almost near to death. So
Yes.
many people haven't really. When I was at the peak, almost at the peak of my career, I got into an accident, motorcycle accident, that actually set me back.
Yeah.
So I ended up migrated after that. And with the likes of Stand Up for Love, Show Me With a Love, Groovy Kind of Love, all these great songs, In This
Yes.
Thing Together with Bobby Digital, all these great songs that was out at the time, that was bubbling. Me and Sanchez was going down a road where, it's like everybody was saying, yo, the two biggest singer them. And the man, them have songs like crazy. So it's like, right in the midst of that, an accident. And then, boy, I migrated after that and went to the US. And after migrated, then I've been going back and forth, traveling back and forth, just short period of time in Jamaica and gone back.
Yeah.
So I went to Mixing Lab to just go check out a few sessions because, as an artist, what we used to do, we used to go from studio to studio and seek opportunity to see who is recording, which label is recording, and try to get a song and a rhythm with that producer.
Yeah.
So as I walked into the studio, the whole studio session stopped and everybody was like, can't believe. Guess who walked in singing melody? Everybody was like, yeah, boy, how long time we not see you?
Yeah.
And the Jawworks rhythm was playing at the time.
Yeah.
And Jawworks was playing now and everybody have voice on it. You have Ghost and you have Terror Fabulous and Keep and Wally Pamande on the rhythm.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And the producer stopped and said, boy, you have to leave something with it today. So at the time, Tony Braxton has the hottest song, which was Let It Flow.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you remember that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I used to love that song, just like singing it in the dance hall and stuff. But then I didn't have a song when they call up on me, so I just recorded Let It Flow.
Let it flow. Yeah.
So after I recorded Let It Flow now, Bulby and I now start to have a conversation, which is Fat Eyes. And he's saying, boy, would I love work with you and do some more work with you and more possible to get an album together.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty interested. I'm with no label right now. So, I'm freelancing. So, yeah, I don't see why not. You're a great producer. We can do it. So we start a joint business together where, I'm the artist on the label and we start record some songs together. So one day, Bulby decided to bring the song to me.
Mm-hmm.
And he said to me, I have a song is for you to sing about. So that song I will change your life. This is what he said to me.
Yeah.
So he said to me that I'm gonna give you this song and I want you to study it. Just go home and go listen to it. And so I don't want to record it now, but I just want to study it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I took the song, I went home, drop in the cassette and I played the thing. For some reason I just never feel the song. I just didn't feel the song. It was slow. Because if you know the original version of Take That, Back for Good, it's a slower version, very powerful song, but it was slow.
Very
and I
slow,
didn't see myself singing the song.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the song and him called me about 3 times. Yo, what do you think about the song? I said, well, the song's slow. It's if you listen to the likes of Let It Flow, it was a much faster song, and that was the time where dancehall was on fire. Being and Bunty them time there, I get kick off, and everything just a stir up, and dancehall is on a high. So I didn't want to come with a slow song than what the market has. So I tell him, I said, well, I don't think I'm feeling the song, because it's a bit slow. So I said, sing it. May I tell you, listen to the song and learn the song, Rasta. We need you to record this song. So I didn't pay much attention to the song. I'm still doing my everyday life. So one day I was playing the song and my little baby daughter started to sing it.
Yeah.
So I said, where did you learn that song from? And she said, I heard you playing it, Daddy. I heard you playing it. It's a nice song.
Wow.
So I decided to call back the producer. And I said to him, look, when we can record this song? And he said, when you're ready, just tell me when, which day.
Mm-hmm.
And so right away, I get together Sly and Robbie in the studio. And Sly and Robbie, a couple more musicians came into the studio, and I went to the studio, and we start get the rhythm together. We call it now what we start to put the rhythm together. So Sly and Robbie now start creating the rhythm around it, and if you listen to the intro of that song,
Tuck, tuck, tuck. Yeah.
yeah, it was wrong the way it started.
Okay.
So everyone stopped the session and said, "Oh, Sly, the drum pattern wrong, you know." And Sly said, "Leave it." Sly said, and this was his word. I was right there. He says, "This is what gonna make the song be recognizable."
Yes.
And,
Nice
what if a
intro.
and he said to us, a lot of musicians gonna have problem playing it too. So
Right.
everybody was debating and wasn't feeling the intro. But Sly said, "Make it stay," and everybody agreed to let it stay. And the back end story of this is that sometimes it takes great producer to really bring certain vision forward. Because
Yeah.
sometimes as an artist, you get stuck into your own way of doing things and your own vibe of doing it. And sometimes not having a great producer and somebody that can influences you how to really move forward and to do something that is different from the ordinary
Yeah.
that you have never done before. And so that's how that song came about.
Wow.
I recorded the song 7 times.
Whoa.
7 times, and it's the final cut of the song that made it, because I was given a lot of problem to sing the song because
yeah.
I didn't like the song.
Right.
So when I sang I sing the song, I went back to New York, and while I was there, a friend of mine called me and said to me that it seems like Bulby are gonna put out the song. So I was like, and this is right into the pinnacle of Beenie Man and Bounty Killer war now.
Yeah.
Dancehall is on fire.
Yes.
And I said, no man, Bulby can't be so stupid. How he's gonna put out a song like that now when there's so much war in
Yeah.
the dancehall? I said, he can't do that. But I didn't care that much about the song. I was just scared that my career was gonna flop by him putting out a slow song.
Yeah.
So when I called him, he said, "Sing it. You just watch where I go on." So, and that's how Bulby talk, because he stuttered.
His stomach,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, he stammered. So, they dropped the song. I think he gave Mighty Mike the song, and I FM at the time. He gave the song to Mighty Mike on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Mighty Mike don't normally play those kind of songs. Yeah, I think that was the program that he played on a Sunday, the One Drop program. It's called like an evening program,
Okay, yeah.
with love songs and stuff. So Mighty Mike played the song. The song was played 15 times
Wow.
by that DJ. And the DJ stopped the song and says, "No, people, this song is going to be one of the biggest songs for singing melody in the world." And at the time, I still take the song lightly, I had chills when they play it and stuff, but, as an artist, I normally never get it overhealed with my music. I always love what I do, and I think the song was great, but I didn't see it as a song that was going to be a big hit at the time.
Yeah, at the time.
Yes. So, because it was the war with Bounty Killer, we were all focusing on
Yes,
Beenie Man.
and Beenie Man, yes, back then.
Yes. Them mash up the beats. Them basically lock down the beats. No mash it up, but lock it down.
Yeah.
So I don't think that anything else could have escaped. And that song came and changed the cycle
Right.
of Jamaica dancehall. Now, when you go to the dance, now it's a different thing. The song start play 6 and 7 times.
Yeah.
So people now start to slightly ignore the war now and start get back into the love mood, and
Yeah.
the song became one of the biggest songs, and then now start to spread wings and fly, and that's how this song becomes a global hit.
Yeah, it's a big hit. Number 1 tune.
Yes. So without me telling you the backstory, it would make sense. It would just be another classic. But this is not just an ordinary classic. It was a classic with a movement behind it, and the people, the fans of singing melody start to grow from there.
Big time, man.
That's how I think that my fan base start to spread wider.
Wow.
Where people start looking to my career and said, "No man, this youth
You are blessed. You are blessed with a golden voice singing melody,
I give thanks for the Almighty Himself for giving me a talent that, I carefully manage over the years. I can't tell you that it's the biggest career over the years, because, a lot more could have done. But like I said, I am not the one who control that. It's really just the industry decision and people who you work with, and your team to really kind of push. And also the artists, So for me, over the years, I've been always self-managed. I happens to have one good manager in my career back then, and we were like brothers because I brought him into the business and teach him the business. So he became a good manager because of that. Then after that, I've been searching for good manager, realized it didn't work. Everybody who comes along just wanted to book shows. Nobody wanted to put in the work of a management. So I decided to do my own thing over the years and manage myself and be creative. So because of that, it drains both sides of the fence. When you become a business person, more than you become a creative person, then it take away from the creativeness. If you know the story about being creative and being a business head at the same time, the two of them don't really work hand in hand. You have to actually have somebody. You have to know about your business, but at the same time, you have to get more creative. So, and creative take a lot of time into the studio, a lot of work, a lot of research, a lot of homework,
long hours,
a lot of work. Long hours. So I spend half of my life
in the studio
and trying to create content, for the fans.
It did pay off singing melody.
Yes, it did. It did in the end. I can't even call it the end because I feel like, my career has just taken wings and fly now.
Right.
Because I've always had the energy to create new energy and to create new vibe and new music and to transcend through time. So my music, as I said to you, I've learned from the greatest how to be timeless.
Yes. Now,
so that is what working for me right now is just being a timeless artist as I am.
Good. Now let's feature another monster track of yours, singing melody, a song called "See What." Let's feature this track first.
I'm gonna treat you in the street again. Say what, lady? Oh yeah. Saying to me, did you mean to tell me it put you down for another? And what, lady?
The voice of the one, Mr. Singing Melody. 1021 RFI Radio 102.1 FM. My name is DJ LT. Talking to a legend and singing melody.
I'll take you in and give you loving that a real man bring. So much more I have in store for you.
Yes, this is another big hit as well. I'm singing melody.
Yes, man. Another classic again by
another classic. Yes.
Yeah, another classic again by the man himself, Bobby Digital. And like I said, everything to me boils down to chemistry. And working with a great producer is not by just luck. It's by humility. And as an artist over the years of myself, I always like to learn. Even when I know more, I like to give other people a chance to express what they can do.
Yeah.
And so when you go on the likes of a Bobby Digital, it's like you're going to a scientist lab and watching him creating magic, and then you learn from there, and then ask him what kind of formula,
that's the late
he
Bobby
can
Digital.
use. And yeah, man,
the late Bobby
the
Digital.
late great Bobby Digital, and that was another thrilling moment for me. Even though I know Bobby before that, because if you go back on track, when Shabba leave Jammies, it was right into the hands of Bobby Digital, and this was Bobby Digital original crew. It was me, Shabba, Wayne Wonder, and Kokoti.
Yeah.
You understand? To name a few. Bobby was always producing a lot, but I come out with songs like, Bobby produced songs with me like, we'll bring this love together, and the country rhythm. Those are covers too. And another song called When I'm Feeling Blue, and Shabba has I Am Bad and Wicked in a Bed. So those were the hit songs and those rhythms. So I was one of Bobby Digital, what you call it now, artists that I used to record. I record so much hit for Bobby, and like I said, another great scientist, I was fortunate enough and humble enough to be around to gather some more knowledge again from there, and the relationship was always there until the end.
Yeah. Wow. And also singing melody. There was a song I came across. It brought back some memories to me. You alongside the Wicker Man.
Oh my gosh, Dennis Starr.
Yes. Let me just feature this track. I'm singing melody.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Now you know the power coming down from the Almighty Father. So all of the massive who get the power, shout out to the maximum because we come on and the singing melody. Come singing.
Oh, let the power fall and die. Fall right. Oh, let the power fall and die. Oh, let the power, reggae power, just fall and die. Oh, let the power fall and die.
Come on.
Oh, justice, peace,
102.1
and
FM,
love
things
will
turn up.
fall and die. Oh, let the power fall and die.
What to say, you?
Oh, let the
The
power
Wicker Man alongside singing melody.
just fall.
Live on RFI Radio 102.1 FM.
Fall and die.
Come now, because me feel the power, me feel the power from the Almighty Father. Me feel the power, me feel the power from the Almighty Father. From up ever down comes the power, straight in my body, give me strength and figure. You know, say singing melody, him having the power, and I'm a wicked man. Yes, me get the power, so jump around 'cause you having the power, and hold up your hand 'cause you having the power. When me get the power, me say me get in a temper. Hold microphone and me rough bout, so come me feel the power. Me feel
This was a big tune as well, singing melody. You and Wicker Man.
Yes, definitely. That was also a big song.
Big tune. Yeah, you and Wicker Man. How old is that tune, singing melody?
Oh, what?
How old is this track? Maybe,
This track is about 20 years old.
yeah.
I can't put a finger on it.
Yeah. I remember when this
But
song came out. It was a big tune, you know?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was, and I mean, we can stay here and talk about the years
Oh, yes. All
and
night.
century of history and things behind each and every song, but these were all my peers, and people who I used to go to dance hall with, and we used to test things in the dance hall before we even record them. This
Yeah.
song didn't just happen as a recording; it was more like of a live performance.
Okay.
In the dance of freestyle, and I
Same.
remember this song going to church with my mom. Oh, let the power
Yeah, yeah.
fall and die, fall right. Oh, let the power fall and die. So when we're at the dance hall, and dance hall carry a lot of different elements. You see, a lot of people used to never really realize that dance hall was so powerful. It molds some of us. And let me tell you something. There's time in the dance hall when the sound system, when a rhythm turn over, when a song play and the rhythm turn over,
Yeah.
you find artists have to find things to sing. You understand?
Yes,
So
yes.
sometimes we get in all the spirit, in a dance hall, Sometimes we get all the spirit, just by just singing gospel,
Saying. Yeah.
So gospel was always big in dance hall, and it was a big part of dance hall too.
It's
So
true.
all these songs, when we were in dance hall, we experiment with them. We realized we just go and record them because we realized that they have an impact on the people. You understand? And there was a kind of energy that we wanted to bring from the dance hall onto record, so you can able to transcend your time. And like we say again, these people were just our peers, people who we have met along the journey.
Along the journey.
And dancehall journey, Wickerman, Dirtsman, Papa San, we all came from the same, we call neighboring,
Okay.
and everybody come from nearby or by far, and
Same.
most of the artists them that you hear, most of them is really from country, and them come a town, come look opportunity,
Saying.
So we were all just one big family trying to find a direction and trying to strengthen the music, because we came in and saw great things that was happening with the music.
Right.
So we couldn't have gone any other way than to try to add to it, Yeah, we never yet one day get up and say, let us do a song to kill people. Let us do a song to demotivate people. Let us do a song to make people feel sad. Let us do a song. No, it was always about uplifting
Yes, that's very good. Singing
And-
melody.
and bringing a kind of energy
I applaud you. Yes.
to make people feel like, they can live their day through whatever they were going through.
right.
You know?
Yeah.
Even me at times were going through a lot of things. And that's how that even the Want You Back album came,
Okay.
which is Sweeter album. I was going through a lot of stuff back then in 2002, when this album dropped, or 2001. It was a lot that I was going through.
Wow.
And what helped me? It was music.
Sing.
It was music that helps me to create such a great album that actually was number 1, number 3 on the reggae Billboard chart, and for weeks, and then move from that to being on MTV top playlist, and so on and so on. It was that kind of energy that actually
Yeah.
brought me to that.
Wow.
Good.
Man. And also another song I came across as well, a song called "Say You Love Me." I think it was you and Johnny P.
Johnny P.
Yeah,
Say
Louis-
you love
yeah.
me, I
Yeah.
yours, you be mine.
Let me feature.
great song like that.
Let me feature this track of singing melody.
Well, all the young girl, well, up on the man. Jump and shout out.
Everton Hardaway, aka the singing melodies here on RFI Radio 102.1 FM.
Are you singing melody on Johnny P? Say you love me, baby girl. I'll be yours, you be mine. If you tell me, girl. Say you love me. I'll be yours, you be mine. Every time. Say you love me, baby. Everything will be so fine. Say you need me, darling. Everything can be so fine. You better just say you love me. I tell you. I'll be yours, you be mine. You better just say you need me. I'll be yours, you be mine. That's why me tell you if you love me, and you not tell me, girl, no, me fi know. And if you write me and me can't read it,
Yeah, you have so many songs singing melody. Wow,
Don't ask me
amazing.
the question. Don't
It's,
ask me the question, because I don't know. I don't count.
No, I wouldn't ask you. Now, singing melody.
I've learned that. I've
Yeah.
learned that from Barry Salmon. Barry say I don't count my songs. Them,
Yeah.
I just keep on, because when you start counting a problem, you feel like you have arrived, and I don't think I have
Same.
arrived anywhere. I
True,
think I'm
true.
still young.
Yeah. Now, singing melody. The question I want to ask you now. There is this big group, ladies. When they perform, they fall to your feet. Called the Lust. How did this group came about? The Lust.
Well, like I tell you, I happens to met the like of Thriller You when I was going to King Tubby's.
Yes.
Yeah, you saw everything work out. Look how everything works out. It works out like magic. And I put it this way. You see, when God creates someone, he has a roadmap for them
Yeah.
that they don't even know about that roadmap.
Mm-hmm.
But after you start to tread that road and you start to look how things come together, you have to say it's the Most High himself.
Yes.
I've put you on that path. Because how could I come from King Tubby's, met Thriller You, Lukey D, while going to King Tubby's, the song you just played a while ago was
Yeah.
King Jammy's, that was King Tubby's Prentice, and how could I pass through King Tubby's and don't go to King Jammy's?
Yeah.
So Lost came about long years ago when we met each other, because we knew that this was gonna be something. We start talking about, when I met Thriller You, he kind of look at me as a kind of admire my singing as well, just as though I saw him as a great vocalist
Yeah.
at the time. And we were always talking, communicating together, just reason about music. Then Lukey D, Firehouse Crew, that was Lukey D uncle, George, we play drum for Firehouse.
Okay.
They were King Tubby's musicians.
Okay. Wow.
So while they were coming to King Tubby's, Lukey D was coming with them as a local youth too.
Yes. Okay.
So the whole of we used to meet each other, we used to talk, and Lukey D and I used to have this sing off over Olympic Way at a place called Shalimar with Admiral Bailey them and things. That was Admiral Bailey location. Admiral Bailey used to sit with to clash.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Little Twitch and them Monday.
Yeah.
So when we met, we recognized each other talent.
Yeah.
So Lucky D was always reasoning about group thing and singing harmonies and so on, because I think by then now Lucky D had migrated and lived in Detroit. So he was in school and was with choirs and things like that. So he had the experience with choirs and stuff like that. We were always lovers of groups.
Yeah.
And harmonies, because every time we link up at Tubby's, me, Trilla, you, and Lucky D was always trying to. Lucky D would say, sing the note here, Trilla, sing the note here, Melody, sing the note here.
Yeah.
And we put them together and they were just a blast.
Right.
So while meeting each other and talking about that back in 89,
Yeah.
we were always talking. But then, back then on the radio, there was the Mighty Diamonds, the Melodians, all of these wonderful songs that was on the radio that was just mesmerizing people and giving people chills. These harmony songs. I did a roof over my head. Mighty Diamonds, all them songs, there was big songs.
Yeah.
But at the time when we were touching down closer to the 90s now, we realized that the harmonic music was fading out. It was more prominent solo career that was taking over radio.
Right.
So Lucky D and I and Trilla, you was always vibing. And we said, boy, one day we'd love to have a group, with we, Because guess what? No, because you see we are going on the business. Because we admire the business and we swear going. And we said, boy, John, the man, them stop playing the group songs, them.
Yeah.
So we said, boy, one day we'd love to have a group. But anyway, that was just something that we talk about. It was up in the air. And
yeah.
things were always just mentioned, but and when we come together, we just love each other. So we sing all the whole day. All part of half of the day, we basically just sit down and sing together.
Wow.
We don't have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
So we will leave and go about with separate ways. So now, on my journey now, I'm getting bigger and bigger in the business now. More songs. Lucky D migrated Ghana foreign. And then come back and start work back with Firehouse School now.
Mm-hmm.
That are with them uncle.
Yeah.
Them time him have every man got their eyes on you.
Yeah.
And then big song then now. And we start link up again and we start so yeah man, but no say the idea go push to and whole heap of things, cause I don't know if you know, but Lucky D has been recording since he was 9 years old. A matter of fact, he has an album with Fatis at 9 years old.
Wow.
So Lucky D have experience long before me and Trilla you.
But you used to clash him in Cogburn Pen a couple of years ago?
Yes, we used to
Lucky
clash, but guess what? Me never know that Lucky D was a recording artist at that time.
Yes.
You understand? Because we just know we met each other in the dancehall. So therefore, dancehall vibe was always dancehall vibe. It has nothing to do with your recording skills.
Mm-mm.
It was a separate entity. So anyway, on the journey getting huger now and on the way up, I met this kid called Tony Curtis.
Yes.
And when I met Tony Curtis, it was more like Roof International in Ocherios. We used to always end up at Ochi because back then now me have my first little car, and which is a mini minor, and me used to drive. So every time Jigsy King and Tony Curtis come Kingston, we used to hang out together, so me used to carry them back home in the evening.
Okay.
So when I go home, I just say, yo, no come, because they used to take the bus. So I used to just say, yo, come in my car, me drive and car and go Linstead. So I used to take them home every evening. So that's how me and Tony now became friends and Jigsy.
Right, okay.
So I start take a keen listen now to Tony Curtis, and I say, oh, that youth are bad.
Yeah.
You understand? Because Tony Curtis now a grown, him have mega hits and just a go on whole heap of songs come out with that.
Big artist, man. Yeah.
So back then, now me and him get closer now. So that's how we get to really merge with Loss.
Loss, yes.
So me introduce Tony to Lucky, and I think Trilla you. I'm not quite sure, don't quote me on this, I don't remember, but I know me introduce them.
Yeah.
And we all immediately recognize each other talent, and we start talk about the same group thing again.
Wow.
So it's like when a lot of people ask me about Loss is like a magic come together.
Yeah.
I put it this way, it's like a magic come together by the hands of God.
Yeah, man.
Because when Loss came together, when people find, because nobody never know that we're gonna be a group, only we alone, because it's we put ourselves together, it's nobody put it together.
Yeah.
So that's why I can't mash up also, because guess what? No. everybody have a mutual respect for each other's talent.
Yes. Great singers, all of
So,
you.
yeah, so what happened now is that after introducing Tony Curtis, everything now start to, me and Curtis start to link more now, and Lukey. So Tony Curtis now have the big song now. He was managed now by Shabba Road manager, which is Banky Loss. Banky. I don't know if you know, but this is how Banky Loss get the name Loss. Banky Loss is by Loss. So anyway, Tony Curtis was managed by Banky. And Banky now have Tony Curtis and things. So Curtis have the big song them now. So by this, me there New York now. And everything all right for me and me there New York. So Tony Curtis came up here and saw me. So it was like, yo, I never know New York you live and thing and where. And yo, you need to come back a Jamaica star because, you know, reggae artists know for live a foreign and them start to give me some whole parables and I tell me if you look for all of the artists them move come a foreign or them mash up and nothing go on and I mean I say you're right. But me not there upon the mash up thing, but us there try to sort myself out. You know, me have a family here and things like that, I know mash up business. But me hear what you say, you must say, yo, come in man and make up put the thing together because Banky and manage me now when I have 2 number 1 song and back to back number 1 and them a tell me all these things. But by then no, me couldn't really travel. So me I said to him, say, don't worry man, me will come man, me will come and next month I'm supposed to come to Jamaica and things. So if I come we will link you. So by then, now everything straightened out for me and me could have traveled again. So I went down to Jamaica, I linked Tony and make Tony know me there. And we just link up the rest of the man and say, yo, ready, you know?
Yeah.
And Tony was the man who responsible for that merge.
Right.
So Tony was the one who influenced me to remember that we're always talking about this group thing.
This group list,
so he think that is a time now that we come together, even though him have successful songs.
Yeah.
I have songs that was playing. Luke have songs. Triller have songs.
Triller you, yes.
Why should 4 man who already established come together? This is not nonsense. How this going to work?
Yeah.
So everybody know when them hear about Lost now, people were saying, yo, that not gonna work. My producer, which I signed to at the time, which is Bulby, say, yo, that not gonna work, you know. I pay ego there so.
Yeah.
So me I said to him,
for great singers.
Yeah, 4 good singers, that not gonna work, man. People say, yo, this a nonsense. This not gonna work. We're not gonna mash up in no time. Producers was afraid. We're not just afraid, but the business now start to take a different kind of a breath of air now, where everybody say, yo, you know, you have one. Singing melody, Tony Curtis and Lukey, they have a team up. So them have a group named Lost. So everybody I said, what? No, that's a problem. And the talk start go around. But anyway, it wasn't until 1997 we decided now to write a song. But then you have the Sting rhythm I go around, which is Missing You. And we decided, all right, you know, this is a nice rhythm. We're going to write a song for it instead of to sing over a song. Because I don't know if you know the history, but how Lost came about is that Lost were brought in to cut out the cover version.
Okay.
So when Lost started out, we wanted to keep the group as a group that sings pure original song because we all are cover songs already.
Yeah.
So we don't need to build back a group again, a cover song. So we decided to start write songs. On the breaking of writing songs, we came up with a song called Sweetness of Your Love. And this was back in 1997.
Sweetness of Love?
Sweetness of Your Love.
Oh yeah, let me feature this strong first singing melody.
Right.
Before you continue. Sweetness of Love. We're talking to Singing Melody right here on RFI Radio. This is the group called The Lust, Singing Melody, Tony Curtis, Freely You, Lucky D. Yeah, Sweetness of Your Love from The Lust. Are you there, Melody?
Yes, man.
Yeah. Lovely tune.
So Sweetness of Your Love was birth, but how it really came out now is that Tony Curtis was signed to Banky. We actually basically write the song together, all of us,
Yeah.
and we said we need a label to put it out, but we didn't have a label at the time.
Right.
But Banky has a label, and he was managing Tony Curtis. So Tony Curtis said, "Yo, why not make Banky put out the song and I manage the group?" But at the time, we're looking at it and we're saying, "Well, I don't think it's going to work. I'm not done to manage you already." And so Banky was saying, we went to Banky, with the idea, and we got to studio and we recorded the song. Banky took over the song and put out the song. The song went straight to number 1 immediately.
Wow.
Immediately right up in the chart and start climb chart all over the world. Lost was birthed, and then Banky took on to the name Banky Lost. People start calling Banky Lost now because of the group.
The group, yes.
Yes. I think that Banky at the time did a fabulous job by promoting this group. This group was on every radio station.
Mm-hmm.
The group immediately blew up. We collect so many awards all over the world
Yes,
for
I
this
know.
particular song. And
Mm.
there you go. That was the birth of Lost.
Yeah.
And from there on, we moved to some great songs like touring and all of that. Today we have 2 albums that was released. Most people don't even know that Lost has 2 albums because they were released in Asia. Back in Japan, 2 albums were released in Japan.
Yes.
Because we were signed to a Japanese label at the time.
Yeah.
And we have everything was just major for Lost in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So we were always touring Japan and always in Japan for every year. So I guess it's just a matter of selfishness why the labels over there didn't release the albums worldwide at that time. Because as you know, Japanese market is very small.
True,
Platinum over there is like 500,000 or 250,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
So records. So at the time, it was major for Lost. Lost have gotten a nice run. We happened to maintain a great relationship. Still recording, even though we haven't done any work in a while.
Yeah.
And this is because of the business of each person's solo career. I just released an album, and then Tony, and then Trilla, Lucky D have new stuff out now and promoting. So we are never in the same spot at the same time.
Busy guys, yes.
Yeah. So, but when it has to come together, like Jerkfest coming now in Florida, with Shaggy and Lost, and it comes together for reasons like that.
Cool.
To bring a certain kind of energy. But out of Lost birth back in 1997 comes a lot of group now start to come up. The TOK, the ARP, just name the group them. All of them group they start to birth now because guess what? Lost kind of just set the platform for a whole heap of people now come through and start sing harmony again, and so the business start to rise again back then. And then it changed again because I saw the music stay.
Yeah. What you're saying is true.
It changed up and down.
What you're saying is true. So many groups came about. You had Monster Shack. So many of them.
Man.
Elephant Man and them. Yeah.
Even though Monster Shack, I think Monster Shack was there just before Lost, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Because Monster Shack was a different kind of group. It wasn't like a singing group.
I know, yes.
It was more like a duets.
Yeah.
It was 4 brothers or 4 brethren who come together and just say, yo, them are going to smash up dance hall.
Yeah.
So you have the singer, you have 3 DJ.
I think Ghost part of that group as well, or Elephant Man?
It was part of Monster Shack. Elephant Man was Scare Them group.
Yes, Scare Them. That's right, Scare Them.
When
yes,
Lost came out, I think Scare Them group was then, before then, and like we say, it's a different kind of group.
A different group, yes.
They were DJs.
Yeah.
They weren't singers.
Singers now.
As far as what we call group is really just singers. Because I think Monster Shack was there before Lost was birthed.
Sure, insane.
Yeah, Monster Shack was there.
Yeah.
And also Scare Them crew came up just before Lost came out.
Yeah.
So Lost now was one of the first singing groups. It's also a part of Jamaican history too, because the first group of Jamaica, first 4 solo artists ever come together. You have 3 before, but never 4.
Man, you're a bless with a golden voice, each and every one of you.
So it's really a pleasure to really, God has blessed us with 2 careers, each of us, because no matter where we go, we have to represent for Lost. Anyone out.
Yeah, man, for real, big time.
You know.
Now let's feature one track from the list, which I think when that song came out, it took the place by storm. Singing melody, "Run Free."
Yes.
1 minute.
Yeah, man.
Don't let the trouble and the problems of the world get you down. Don't ever let them see you fumble and a stumble. Don't you let down. Put a big bright smile on your face. Don't wear
The group called The Lust. Singing melody, Thriller You, Tony Curtis, Nookie D. 1021 RFI Radio.
Place your feet on solid ground. Run free. Run free. Let the love that God has given us run free.
That's a beautiful track as well. Singing melody, "Run Free."
Yes. Yeah,
Big
man,
tune,
definitely.
Big tune. Yeah, man, big tune, man.
The catalog, we don't even call
Heavy.
it catalog anymore. We call it Lion Log, you know?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
The Lion Log, the
Yeah.
Lion Log is huge musically, and like we said, we still give thanks to the fans them
Yeah,
who
man.
have
Yeah, man.
helped us on this journey to really solidify a career over the years and to build like relationship with them. You know, I say that because I think that we owe a lot to the fans.
True.
And the fans has given us the opportunity to prove ourselves and to come out here and to perform for them.
True.
I just have to say something, a little sidebar different from that, even though it's along with the music. You know, otherwise from being a recording artist, part of one of the skills that you get are the opportunities you get is to do live performances. And the live performances is really what we use to enhance who you are as an artist. So
Yes.
people, your fans can get bigger and people can be able to get more into you.
True. True.
And that is one of the things that we have mastered as well from sound system days, is really how to perform. And so when we touch a stage, there will be no dull moment for the fans, you know?
Yeah.
And that's why you say Lost was always brought onto certain kind of event, because we
Yeah.
bring a certain kind of fire.
Different vibes.
And this is not by blowing our own hand, because at the end of the day, it's all there on record to show how dominant we are when we touch stage, you know?
Yeah, because I could without cutting it short, singing melody. There was a video. I can't remember where you guys performed. The live was a live performance, and when you guys came on, I just see ladies just dropping down. Man, I was like, wow, them guys are powerful.
Yeah, well,
Girls
the
just
things
dropping,
that-
fainting.
Yeah,
You know.
you know, and like we say, you know, we take great pleasure of building something that we know will last for a lifetime. You know, we will pass and leave our music just like the greats. You know, our
Yes.
music will transcend through time and here to stand the test of time when we are. So I am very proud and I'm very honored to have met these three gentlemen who have actually helped to enhance another part of singing melody that I have less work to do when I join with I join with Lost, you know. Less work.
Yeah,
Because
man.
when Lukia sing, me just a blow to harmony. When Chula sing, I just harmony me a blow. You understand? That less
Yeah,
work for me.
man. True.
But you see, when my time for sing, me come out and shine and I just
Yeah,
so
man.
lost.
Yeah,
it.
man. Yeah,
Lost
respect.
is like a magic group, you know. When
Yeah,
you
man,
hear the
yeah, man.
flow on stage, one sound a year, but you see when you're ready for spit vocals, every man just come out and just shine.
Yeah,
and
man.
we are showmen. We are showmen in our own right.
Yeah.
So it is the first super group, if I may say,
The
out
last.
of Jamaica. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Now tell me, singing melody. What's your proudest moment?
My proudest moment is to be able to stand up in front of 150,000 people and see every single soul getting the same frequency that the music express.
Right.
It is something that's hard to explain, you know. When not even the government are the president of the United States have that power.
Yeah. True.
You know,
true,
and
true.
I say that with no apology because I've watched many rallies, many things, and Some people are disgruntled. Some people are okay with it. Some people are saying, yeah, you have the front runners who are there campaigning. But when you go out in our crowd, we are 150,000 people, and the feeling is mutual. And you can say, let me see all the hands in the air. And you see everybody put up the man.
Wow.
You know, it's something that brings a different kind of feeling.
I could imagine.
That's why I said to you early on in the interview that artists has a responsibility. And even though we are artists, but we have a responsibility to know what we are saying to people.
I agree.
And to remember that it comes with a certain kind of energy that can influence people musically.
Cool.
And that's why I am how I am. Is that I look at the fans first and I evaluate the kind of music I want to give to them.
Yes.
I know, people mind swing.
Yeah.
Sometimes people want to hear something negative, and sometimes they have the moment where they want to get back into positive.
Yeah.
This is how people mind works. It works with the moment. Some people take the negative seriously and grow with that, and they'll say, yo, my art is this. Me like when them say, cock up your this and cock up your that and dig out your this and dig out your that. Because that's where that person's mindset is at the time. That's how them feel. Them people just do something wicked or something dangerous or something nasty. That's just how they feel.
Yeah.
So you have to just know that the fans, you as a musician and as an artist, you have the power to give the people the right music.
True. Yeah.
You can imagine if the world was positive, how powerful everybody would have been.
True.
Just think about it.
Yeah, you're right.
Because we have a sidebar, a little bit, and we have to talk about how the mind program. People work off a program. When you were born from your mother, you grew up in a program in your household, and that program is to program you to operate a certain way while you're growing up.
Yes.
When you leave your household, them send you out into the world now. If you go learn now at school, it's a different program that your mind program again, how to work with society and what is important in society.
True.
Now that program now transcend you to grow up now and to start have your own life.
Yeah, man.
Now, a lot of times, when we grew up and we reach a certain level now, we also get programmed again by different elements and different things.
True.
So our mind and our image and everything that we do is a program that help us to grow and be who we are.
That's wise words, Singing Melody. And can I just refresh your memory, Singing Melody? One of your first bookings was in the Cayman Islands. And I think you missed your flight then. you were so excited. I think you gave your shoes to your friends because you told them.
You watch the story.
Yeah, you told them you're going on tour.
Yeah, but that was absolutely true because I was so happy.
Yes.
I didn't know that people overseas know about me.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just in my community. So I gave away when I heard that I was going away overseas to do a show.
Yeah.
What more thrilling moment than that?
Yeah.
So all the shoes, them and old shoes that I have, I didn't have much back then because I can tell you just a few shoes.
Yes.
And that's why now I try to not. When I look into my closet now and I see shoes upset with shoes, because I'm not wearing those shoes again, and the new shoes them are getting more weird, so the older shoes them get upset, and things like that. I see shoe war going on in my closet now, and I'm saying to myself, wow, I can't let this happen because I remember when I used to have two.
Yeah.
And I have to clean them every day. No, I never clean shoes. So I'm going to show you again how people stay.
Yeah.
Right? How we are and how we grow up as people. When we pass a certain level, you forget about the past, but you move away from certain things and thinking. So what I try to do now is try to make sure I only keep what I want to wear.
Yes.
Because I realize that I'm a discipline, I have to discipline myself not to overspend on things and not to do things that is not relevant because you don't need it.
True.
So, and then give away a lot more, a part of what we do, because then we know the poverty line, we know where it is. Not that we gone far from it, but we're better off now than where we're coming from.
Yeah.
You know, so and COVID-19 express all of that to everybody.
Yeah.
You know, by know whether you're rich or you're poor. COVID-19 show us none of we no wealthy.
Yeah.
Because even the money where we have is not really real wealth.
Right.
Real wealth is to really love each other and take care of each other and realize that, we're all human beings. And that's what COVID-19 taught us. Hopefully,
It's true.
it taught me that.
Yes,
But I
yes.
don't know about the massive. I just know that
Yeah.
there was a time that money wasn't relevant.
True.
And what we have didn't relevant anymore.
Yeah.
Because guess what? This is the thing now. We are killing off everybody all over the world. And this is what now. We have to stay inside. We can't get for wear expensive clothes and shoes. We have to put them on and walk up and down in the closet. And oh, nobody didn't do that. People
Yeah,
wear
yeah.
joggers and slippers in their house and bedside slippers.
Yeah.
So,
Now-
so all of this have taught me humility again and to understand. So,
Yeah.
it's really
Now-
a lot, bro.
Now let's get back to the time you give away your shoes. You tell your friends, okay, guys, here is my shoes or my slippers, whatever. I'm going on tour to the Cayman Islands, and I think you missed your flight. Not right, singing melody.
Yeah, I
You missed your
did
flight.
miss my flight
Okay.
because I thought that my manager said meet her at the office when it was at the airport that they actually
Right.
tell me to go. But I didn't know how I was going to reach at the airport. I've never seen an airport, But then it was me and Papa San too,
Yeah.
and I decided to go by the office, and my manager was a female, so her husband was inside. Didn't have a clue that I was outside because we were disciplined. We weren't gonna just come and just walk into the office. We were always manageable.
Yeah.
We sit down outside until somebody come to us and said,
Come in.
okay, you need to do this or come in
Yeah.
or whatever. So I sat down there for about 2 hours in full suit of white. That's the suit I was gonna perform in when I get to Cayman. Yeah. So I think about 2 hours after that, our husband came out and said, "What you doing here? You didn't ended up at the airport. They said that they were looking for you. Nobody said, I didn't know you were out here." So they said, "Well, you can't bother go at the airport again, because the flight gone."
Wow.
And everybody has to turn back. So,
So
the
what
show
were-
has to be cancelled.
So where were you living at
and
the
all of
time?
that.
Was it Maxwell Avenue? Where were you living at the time?
I was living at Maxwell Avenue at the time,
Okay.
so I couldn't really go back there.
So you didn't go. Yes.
I realized though that all my friends and people, because back then as you got foreigners, I look at youth and music, you feel so proud, y'all promise all your friends them that you'll bring back things and so on for them, but not realizing that it was only 25 minutes away I was going. I didn't know that. I thought it was foreign like go New York or something. And then me tell people that tour me I go on, not realizing it was just one show.
So you didn't. That day you didn't go back to Maxwell Avenue. You went somewhere else.
No. I just take a bus and go straight to Country, man.
Country. And you spend
And the people
how
in
long?
place, I said James.
And you spend how long there?
About 2 weeks, me down there for about a week or so before I come back. In the same white suit. So I'm forward back to everybody. I said, boy, so foreign go. I said, yeah, man. I said, man, mash up the place, man, and things, and man start, guys, get to run, But then, get to have them one judge, them one lawyer, barrister, everybody line you up when you come, because them want to hear the full story.
Yes.
And we go on. So one of the man in the crowd say, yo, you're not got enough foreign, man. I lie you tell, because your shoes have on red dirt there. And you're like, you're just, I waited there. So I said, I say, yo, everything good, man. If you don't believe me, I just saw it go. Because you would have to tell a lie back then, Because everybody expect you to bring back something, and then you have nothing to bring back. But in fact, the next week, the show was reinstated, and we went, me and Papa San, and after we went there, the show was flat because Cayman people are very funny back then, If you are advertised to come on a show, and it's just like everywhere else, if you advertised to come on a show and you didn't make it, and the show has to put off, when the show is come again, nobody ain't gonna come.
Yes.
So I think what had happened, I'm sorry, is that me and Papa San just decided to make it a vacation, and that we almost drowned in Cayman at the same time, because I me and Papa San, the promoter, came and said, well, you know, the show ain't work out and stuff, but you guys are here, might as well you guys go to the beach and enjoy yourself and try to have a good time and so on and so on. And he gave us some money. I think he gave me about 200 CI dollar at the time. And so me and Papa San just go by the beach, rent a jet ski, and first time going on a jet ski, I don't know nothing about this bike, but people are ride it and it look like fun. So we decided to rent 2 of them and go out, and next thing my one shut off out there and turn over with me. Far out, you know, we are talking about maybe about 2 miles out in the water, because we never know what the guide for the boat tell us. Don't pass those line. Yeah. But boy, me and Papa San have such a great time that we passed the line about 10-15 minutes ago and reach out in that deep water, a shark and something there.
Oh my goodness.
And the two, well, my boat turned over, and Papa San now have to trying to help me, and him no want to help me because by me trying to get on his boat will capsize his boat as well. So him just say, oh, just hold on the back and leave the boat. So I just hold on the back of his jet ski and him drive me in. By the time I reach in, man, I must have drink about 3 gallons of seawater, man. So that was just my experience. That was just a little joke. It was just a part of growing up. And understand that life, you know, life has so much different things to give to you if you just patient, you know, and understand that, you know, the world doesn't evolve around you, you know, alone. You know, everybody has to get their part and play their part. So even with me, when other artists are shining and I have a dull moment, I don't feel no way. I feel glad because I'm saying, yo, this give me a time to take a time out for myself. Coming off out there every day to try to convince people, say me are the baddest artist or this or that. Somebody else come and take the spotlight and do their best. And then, you know, you have the key already, because I consider myself lucky to really have a key for the business that I can enter and not enter if I don't want to, you know. You know, but just to support my fan base then, as you would call it, and help to grow it by each time renewing myself and renewing my vows to my fans and developing new fans as well across the world, you know.
True.
And that's why I'm so happy, you know, as an artist for social media, because it really helps us to really, especially in a time like this, to be relevant and to out there, you know. So I use it with a positive way of promoting myself and getting myself out there. I wasn't always a big social media fan, because I just think that sometimes when I go on social media, I got distracted because I'm looking at all different type of things. It's a new television now, you know? So people, you know, I don't know how to say it in many ways, my brother. LT, it's my pleasure and a great pleasure for me. You know, I receive this even every day. As I breathe and I get up and breathe, I give thanks for the Almighty for have given me this opportunity to be a part of something that is so wonderful. And you know, it's not just me. I have my brothers and sisters them out there who are in the music, who are doing extremely well and helping the music to grow on a level. And that's why I can't understand why we can't get along. Can't understand why we just so selfish at time with the music.
Very sad,
you know?
Yes.
It's very sad because none of us create this legacy on our own. None, not one. I cannot see, not even the great Bob Marley himself did this alone. He helps to do it.
True.
But there was the likes of Delroy Wilson, there was the likes of the Paragons, there was the likes of many other artists who came before Bob. Bob himself said that. That he wasn't the greatest. But by hard work and playing along with other friends, and that's how Tough Gun came about, you know.
Tough Gun,
Enough people didn't know because Bob was already signed to, and I sidebar just to share this little knowledge. Bob was already signed with Chris Brackwell already with Island Record.
Yes.
He never need a label. But guess what? When him look back and him see all him friend them who not get no signing, him just create Tough Gun. So there was an outlet for other artists to put out their music and get established. So to show you again how the unity work in the music, you know, it is something So I lift my hats to the people who have passed during the time of COVID here.
Yeah, man.
You know, all the great legends that have left us, man. I tell you, it's a tear-dropping moment to see so much of the great men who helped to curve this music have left us.
Yes.
You know, and we understand that life itself, you know, is like that.
But I must say, Singing Melody, it's a God blessings you still hear first today because you was involved in a terrible bike accident. You had two broken legs or fractured skull, fractured jawbone.
Everything, man.
Yeah.
Everything, man.
So I must say, you must be happy to be alive right now.
Like I said, my life don't belongs to me. I said this in a nutshell. I think that God give all of us this opportunity to be a big part of something else.
Yeah.
And he gave us this vessel so we can be able to use it to do the work that needed to be done.
Yeah.
After you depart from this vessel, you're going back to your maker, you know. Just like anything else. When you have a Mercedes Benz and it broke down, where you carry it go?
Yeah.
The dealer.
Yeah.
You carry it back at the dealer, so no so it go. You know?
True.
The man who make you just receive back you and just say, all right, come my son, you have done great work. You never go on so good. Tell me what you do with your time while we give you this life. What you do? Explain to me.
Yeah.
Because I see step on your file, you do this and you do that and you do that, but you never really do nothing significant to lift up my glory, my kingdom, and my people. What you do with your time?
Same.
So this is also a message to people out there who are wasting time and not contributing to your fellow men beside you, your fellow neighbor.
Yeah.
You're not being friendly, you're not being loving, you're not being kind. You're not being anything at all. You just want everything for yourself. You just want to achieve this and you want to achieve that, but then you never stop to say, boy, I love my neighbor beside me, you know.
Yeah.
It's a sad world,
yeah.
brother.
And just before we go, Singing Melody, you have a new album out right now, the next chapter.
Yes.
I've listened to a couple. I played some tracks before you came on live, and I'm quite happy with some of the songs you have. Beautiful tracks as well.
It like I said, you know, the next chapter is another relevant for this time that we're in, because a lot of the things that's on this album I've never addressed before.
Yes.
And like I said, you know, I try to stay current with the time and what is going on. If you notice, I have a mixture of songs on this album that is different from the regular Singing Melody album.
Mm-hmm.
But yet still there's songs on there that have the same elements.
Right.
But what I've done this time with this album is to really, everything is a life-changing moment for me. That's why this album is called The Next Chapter. It's not just a title.
Right.
It is my life. You know, it's time that passed and what I've learned and everything and where we are now. You know, so I have get to dealt with issues on this album, such as slavery that I've never understood before, such as get a little bit more into Afro, get a little bit more into pop music. As if you notice, I have a song there with Teddy Riley that I have great experience with. This album is everything new that I've never done. This is my first album with all original songs. It's so much new things, new producers that I've never worked with before. You know, all of this stuff.
It's amazing.
It's amazing to see.
So tell us, Singing Melody, where can we find this album? Musical platform.
This album is on every digital platform.
Right.
It's on Spotify, it's on Apple Music, it's on Amazon,
YouTube.
It's on YouTube. For people who want to go and stream the songs them and to listen to some of the songs. So people want to purchase, you know, it's also another ball game that you can take part into. You know, we have hard copy albums, so when we hit the street, people can be able to purchase albums. You know, these are just the extension of this. The new website will be out. SingingMelodyMusic.com is coming. Also, we have new merch coming. You know, so it's just an extension of my life now that I'm putting together to package myself and make it be more purposefully. Right. You know, if there's such a word. You know,
big respect, Singing Melody.
Yeah, man.
Respect. We're running out of time now, Singing Melody. It's a pleasure having you on RFI Radio, Singing Melody. A pleasure having you.
Yes, DJ LT. It's also I know that you've been really persistent in terms of keeping in touch with me to make sure I don't forget
Yes.
about the date and so on and so on. And thank you for doing so, because I'm a very busy person, but at the same time,
I can tell.
when I make a commitment
Yes.
with someone, I try to honor that and not to mess it up. I see so much mistake with artists doing that, and I don't fall in that bracket any at all.
Yes.
So I just want to thank you
very
for the
much.
opportunity as well.
You're more than welcome.
You know, for being on the program and to educate your listeners and to hopefully
Yes.
entertain them. Now, what I will ask in return is that the listeners who are on your program to go and follow me on my social media, which is Singing Melody Music, on Facebook and also on Instagram, Singing Melody, also and all the social media platforms.
Yes.
I am on it, Singing Melody Music, and what's the new one here? That TikTok, Singing
yes.
Melody Music on TikTok. I'm on Twitter as well. And if you last, just Google Singing Melody.
Yes.
The album is titled The Next Chapter.
Next chapter.
Stay in tune and God bless. Good speed.
Yeah, Singing Melody. Look after yourself, and thank you so much for blessing us with some lovely songs throughout the year, Singing Melody. Big respect to you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, more than welcome, Singing Melody. All right, then. Take care. All right.
Baby, 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 baby. The way you touch me.
There you have it. Singing Melody. It was here. RFI Radio 102.1 FM.
I met her deeper on the beach last
This is the group called The Lust.
night. Sit down, but I gave her a vibe.
Singing Melody, Frila You, Tony Curtis, Lucky D.
Then she turned around and gave me a
So
smile.
what's the sign? She tell me she a Leo. Well, I'm pan around and say me have something for you. Me and you tonight, girl, I hell up in a Rio. She tell
This was a lengthy interview, I must say.
me lie.
Cause when she touched me, feel emotion just rush me.
Big up yourself, Everton Hardware, aka Singing Melody,
Never do me like this.
at the Spanish Town Road,
Cause when she touched me,
Mackay Lane, Maxville Avenue.
oh my God, this girl's got me. I know I just can't resist. The river bank and up in the sea.
This little girl I have me wrap round her finger. The love she give me, yes, it hash like a ginger. So sweet and she always remember when me put it on, when me put it on.
102.1 FM, things turn up.
They don't stop, I've been loving it forever. Every morning you keep me coming, and that's why I'm stuck on you.
Cause when she touched me, feel emotion just rush me. Oh my God, this girl's got me.
DJ LT.
Woman never do me like this. Love a girl like a coconut. Cause when she touched me, feel emotion just rush me. Oh my God, this girl's got me. I know I just can't resist. The river bank and up in the sea. Hey, this girl that must be a sample. Hey, it was a perfect example. Hey. You got